With that, I've been talking to Trustee VORDERER with his vast police experience, and we talked about reinstating something that, as a police officer, he was successful with, and that's block captains. We share a district, a precinct or two, and also Trustee Desmond and I share a district or two, and the goal is to be able to identify an area where we have high incidences of issues. After we identify that, find residents that are willing to be block captains or gatekeepers for that neighborhood. And we have noticed that senior citizens don't take advantage of the technology that's out there because they don't know how to use it, or maybe they don't understand it. Not all of them use that. So the thought process is being able to combine people in the neighborhood that can not only act as a gatekeeper for the neighborhood, but also be able to relay information quickly. After we do the beta test, and that we're looking to kick off within the next month or two with working with the police, then hopefully this program will work and we'll be able to push it out village-wide. But it's important, the safety of our neighborhoods. There's not a person here that isn't concerned about their neighbors or their relatives in the village of Oak Lawn. And I can tell you that with working with the police, and Police Chief Murray has often said this: if there is something in your neighborhood that looks askew or different, call 911. If anything looks out of place, call 911. Police can react to that and investigate. There's other things that you can do in your own homes very quickly by just putting motion detector lights in the front and the backyard that can actually help deter some criminals. But that is something that we, Trustee VORDERER and I, and Trustee Desmond and I, are going to be working on to put the block captain or gatekeeper in the neighborhoods to see what we can do to help the police, not replace the police. And I challenge all residents to see what they could do by watching out for their neighbors. I know in neighborhoods where people know their neighbors, it makes for a safer place to live. With that in mind, I want to thank all the volunteers that with this bad weather that we had. Remember, we had snow on Friday, snow on Saturday, snow on Sunday, and then we had negative 20 and 30 degrees below zero on Sunday and Monday and Tuesday. We have a senior snow shoveling program that there are over 30 children that volunteered for it, and many other adults supplement it. And through their efforts, residents were taken care of. I know that it wasn't as quick as some residents would like, and I know that with the weather that was limiting the amount of time people could be out there, or even if it was safely to be out there, I know a lot of the residents and seniors that were taken care of were very, very happy. What I ask anybody here is, if you have any time, if you can volunteer. We have about a half a more winter to go. Hopefully we won't see the same type of weather conditions. Pardon me. But anybody that would like to volunteer to help out seniors can call up, and the program works by putting you involved in your neighborhood. I know Officer Passetti is the gatekeeper for gathering that information and matching people up, and people who have called me, I've been able to help them find assignments. It doesn't have to be, at this point, every day. We would like to be able to get every resident 100% of the time, but we are limited by how many volunteers that we have. So I would ask if you have the ability to volunteer, or what I saw in this last snowstorm were people that just went and did an extra 2 or 3 houses, or know their seniors in their neighborhood, and help them out. That's the Oak Lawn that I know and love to live in, and I know we'll continue to have a good community base when we help each other out. That concludes my report.
Thank you. District 3, Trustee STREIT.
Thank you. The first question that I have is, I see that, Trustee Quinlan isn't here tonight. I had spoken with her earlier in the week, and she indicated that she was going to request to participate by telephonic conference. Did she request
you're absolutely
that?
correct. Yeah, and I sent her the phone number, and she called at 10 after 7 tonight and said she was extremely busy with work and highly doubted she would be able to call in. But if she got finished early, I said the phone's right here, so she's welcome to call.
Okay. Oh, I appreciate it. Thank you. She had told me she was concerned about whether or not the board would allow her to participate, so I'm glad
I don't think
that's not an issue. Thank you.
Okay. You're welcome.
And
Yeah, it would require board approval, but...
I understand that, right.
Yeah.
And I have a few other things, but the manager, I'm not sure, maybe he can't talk about it tonight. the settlement that he announced with the telecommunicators. I just, because I'm not clear on if that means that the telecommunicators are coming back to work for us. Are the ones that we had working here, are they still here?
As Trustee Streit knows, the board took action in December and approved entering into an agreement with Norcom. The paper incorrectly reported that the agreement was signed prior to board approval. That was not correct. The contract was only executed after board had taken action. We've made every effort to speak with the union and work with the union, and today was a very productive meeting with a conclusion that will result in, I'm quite sure, though the employment decision is Norcom's, not the village, some of the dispatchers continuing on as employees of Norcom, and others that will be accepting positions in the private sector, the public sector, at their own choice. The dispatch center will continue here in Oak Lawn, across from those doors. It still will remain a regional center, and those employees, through a staffing agreement of Norcom, will be embedded in providing the services. And I'm quite confident that after the interview process is complete, that we will have a core of outstanding Oak Lawn employees still continuing to serve us.
Okay, I thought what you said was that all matters with the telecommunicators will be resolved.
They are all resolved. Any and all, the phrase, let me restate it, Trustee, and there will be a statement jointly approved, but it has to be reviewed because we negotiated from 9:30, mediated from 9:30 to 6:30 tonight. We were prepared to issue a joint statement, but it requires the Executive Council of MAP to approve that statement. They were not prepared between 6:30 and 7:30 to sign off on that agreement, and we agreed. They needed some time. Okay. I'm quite confident the agreement will be signed off, but the phrase that will be included in that agreement is any and all disputes have been resolved as part of this agreement. Any and all disputes. The litigation was filed by the telecommunicators against the Village of Oak Lawn. Make no mistake about it, an unfair labor practice is a lawsuit. So under the terms of the Illinois state law, and we're a country of laws, we followed the procedure. The Illinois Labor Board asked us to consider mediation. I'm a strong believer in mediation. I think both parties talking together is a proper way to conduct labor management relations. So we agreed to do that, and then the union was asked, would they also agree, and I'm proud to say they agreed. And it was a very, very productive session today.
You're not prepared to talk about the terms of the settlement?
It would be inappropriate for me until the document has been signed by all parties. I will say this, again, the principle that we've always followed, and you as a board have always given me direction on, I thank you, is to be fair and just. Fair and just for taxpayers, fair and just for our employees, and I believe that embodied in this agreement and the fact that we've settled any and all disputes, that reflects that principle being achieved.
Okay. Well, I'll be very interested to see that settlement agreement, of
I'm
course.
sure you will.
Yes. So we have outsourced the service, so.
That is correct.
Okay, thank you. All right. A lot has happened since our last meeting on December 10th. And I guess I'd like to say I wish everybody a Happy New Year. I've been getting a lot of phone calls and emails from residents in my district on a number of issues. And many times I'm really not sure how to answer those questions that I've been receiving, emails and phone calls. Because, quite frankly, I don't have the answers. I have not received any communication on some of these issues from the mayor or the manager. And I think, like many people in the village of Oak Lawn, I've been kept in the dark. First of all, we have the incident with the village manager, driving his vehicle into a ditch in Palos Park and
Trustee
abandoning it there.
Anything
Now,
related to the,
you know what, this is my new business report. You know what, and I'm surprised. You don't want to take the opportunity to address it. That's your choice. But I do have a
Trustee
responsibility.
Straight, you're welcome to make a motion to move it to executive session. As you know, the Open Meetings Act allows exemptions for the discipline, performance, or dismissal of employees, so.
Okay, well, that's fine. If that's where you want to handle it, that's okay.
That's fine. I'm happy to discuss it, and
I'm getting people asking me questions. I'd like to be able to give them an honest answer, okay? We also have the issue where we're paying an employee and contracting with his company as well. Now, I do understand that the state's attorney is investigating that matter, but I think I'd like to know more about it myself. We also, as has been widely reported, we did run out of salt. And we also had some real issues with garbage pickup in the community this past week. In particular, when the garbage pickup was canceled on Monday, we were immediately, and residents were told that the garbage would be picked up the following day. In many instances, the truck came out that same day, causing some people to miss their pickup. The real issue here, to me, is just simply a lack of communication that we owe to our residents. I also heard a number of people say that they saw one truck picking up both the solid waste and the recycling, putting it in the same truck. And I'm concerned about that because of the effort that we've made to have a very successful recycling program whereby we split the recycling proceeds on a 50-50 basis with the hauler. So I would like to know how this past week's activity will affect the 50-50 split that we have. Now, I do know that the manager plans on giving a report shortly, and on that report is the weather event, but I hope that both he and the mayor will address all of these issues as well, because the people of Oak Lawn deserve nothing less than complete transparency. Thank you very much.
thank you, Trustee Straight. We're going to move on to District 4.
Thank you,
Trustee
Madam President.
Vorderer.
On a positive note, first off, Larry, congratulations on your work with this very tough issue with our dispatch center. I'm thrilled tonight to hear that we're moving forward and we have reached some type of an agreement with our employees.
Thank you.
Good job, Mr. Manager. And just to follow up on Trustee Desmond's comments on the weather, you know, I read in the Tribune, okay, that this has probably been the snowiest and worst winter so far in 35 years. And it seemed to me that all the snow fell last week and then backed right up, okay, to some sub-zero temperature. Now, I read on some of the blogs and on some of the patches that people were not happy with the way that the village plowed their streets. But I want the street department and I want Public Works to know that I received phone calls from my constituents telling me what a great job they did, and they gave me their names. Okay, so, you know, you did a great job. I got everywhere I wanted to go. Did I get there as fast as I wanted to? But I got there, okay? And I know those guys put a lot of time and effort into making Village of Oak Lawn a safe community. As the police liaison, I would like to take the time or a minute to report on accomplishments of our Oak Lawn Emergency Management Agency. This is a division of the police department and our fire department. Now, the agency's major activities designed to promote preparations and preparedness on behalf of residents on emergency situations, major emergency situations. And some of what they were able to do in 2013 included a active shooter training video, which was done in cooperation with Christ Hospital back in March. I saw this video, and I would tell you it is a Hollywood quality production video. It's used as training not only for our police department and Christ Hospital employees, but other policing agencies should we have a major disaster or a worst case scenario of a shooting incident or something in that hospital. We also, on June 26th, did a tabletop exercise that included community partners such as our local schools, Advocate Christ Medical Center, the Red Cross, local funeral homes, Oaklawn Police and Fire, EMS departments, and some of us elected officials. Okay, this represented the first community-wide effort to prepare for the complexities of these major type events and both the short and long-term complications that occur when you have these events. Then on August 25th, there was a full-scale drill, okay, of an active shooter that took place at Oaklawn Community High School. This exercise included the participation of over 25 different agencies and almost 400 people. The exercise provided realistic hands-on training and experience for both the Oaklawn Police Department, Fire Department, and our surrounding agencies. Now, in the spring, we introduced a new tornado warning siren system, and it went through a number of months of testing. It included warnings in 5 languages. In November, we had a major weather situation, a true test of the system, and we found that there were some complications with it. But immediately, this village, the people that managed this village, the police department, took corrective action. We went back to a system similar to what we had, which is a siren signal. However, this system still allows this police department, not only mobile, but dispatch center, to warn this community through voice communications with the community of any major disaster. It's a good system. It was tweaked, and it's working much better. And then to back that weather system up, the police department participated with Walgreens in a program to provide weather radios at a discounted price. And that was a successful program. I myself bought one of those radios, and I have it in operation. Now, all this training and all this exercise was paid for by grants, which the police department, Commander Art Clark, acquired in the total of $127,807. So those are systems and training that were paid, given to the Village of Oaklawn and paid from outside sources. And since this system was put in place, we have gotten $1,875,000 in grants to create this whole emergency management system. I'm proud to say that the police department is working hard for us, and I think they have a lot more on the agenda for 2014. Is that right, Art? Yes, sir. Okay. And Tim, one more thing about the police department and Mike. The house that you showed in my district, it's been a long-term construction project. It's being built by a father for his son. It's got the best of everything put in it. I've looked at it, and a lot of his custom-made stuff has taken a long time to make. So that house has been under construction. But a couple of weeks ago, early in the morning, one of our patrol cars, patrolling the neighborhood, spotted an automobile parked down the street from that house and saw that it was running. Got out of the car and found the gentleman on the inside of the car, I would think, pretending like he was sleeping. But that police officer, using investigative techniques, followed that up, saw some footprints in the snow, and followed them to that house. And in that house, he found his accomplice just about to steal whatever copper or anything he might find in there, and the arrest was made. And I believe that guy had 2 warrants out of Indiana, felony warrants for similar. And I always say, you know, crime happens, but at Oaklawn, this police department is good. And the best face you can put on a crime is to catch the offender. And that's the case they did. Thanks, Mike, and thank you, Mayor.
Great report. Great report. District 6.
Thank you, Madam President. Just a quick comment on with the Public Works. Not only, you know, buildings aren't designed, they would cost too much money, aren't designed to withstand, you know, weather below 10 degrees. And we went through, as everyone's mentioned, brutal conditions. And I think going after Steve Barrett and his group is would be unfortunate, because I can say this: meeting Steve Barrett, I'm proud to have met him. He's he's a gentleman and just a really just a class act, and he makes you want to be better. That's the way he is. He's met me at the nighttime. He's met me on Sundays and Saturdays. He's a class act, and I'm glad I know him. Does a great job. So not only our buildings can't take those kind of weather conditions, but either can the equipment. So I'm not speaking for Steve, but he could speak to that if need be. But those are a lot of challenges, and I think he's done a great job, and I'm proud to work with him. And as far as Mariano goes, they will be the first. Mariano's will be the first store open in 2015. That's the commitment. I met with the people myself, and it will be the first store in 2015. And as far as the impervious conditions, I think they've taken the engineers have taken every precaution
if I could
possible, isn't it?
Trustee Carberry, because I did want to speak to the gentleman's concern, which I do believe overall is a valid concern. In order to obtain that permit from MWRD, the Village and Hamilton Partners followed every procedure and requirement. There are already constructed 2 retention ponds which never existed. That entire area was impervious. There was no retention because it was built pre-regulations now that give attention to stormwater in 1976. So part of the construction already done by Hamilton Partners and their contractor are 2 large retention ponds and a approved MWRD permit. Mike.
Madam President, would you give me just one more second? I want to just comment on Fox College. Okay, Fox College. I am a student of your school. Wasn't smart enough to graduate from your school, but I have 2 sisters that did. Okay, study hard. Your lives will be rewarded by the experiences you have at that college. I can assure you. That's all I have to say.
Thank you. Mike?
Go on, sir.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I'm joking.
Sorry.
I'm joking. So thanks, Larry. And Larry's been working with the water rec as well, and we're trying to get that going again, Larry, and with the flooding issues. And it's complicated. It's not an easy issue, but we are working on it. And I know Larry Deachin's been working very hard on the flooding issues because I've been trying to get that effort going again. So hopefully we'll have good news to come on flooding issues in Oak Lawn. And also, Fox College, welcome. It's good to see everybody here. Thanks for coming. That's all I got, Madam President. Thank you.
Wonderful. Item 9 on the agenda, Village Manager's Report. I'm going to turn the floor over to you, Larry, for item 9A.
Thank you, Mayor and Board, and hopefully Fox College students, we want you back. So you've heard that. And Dr. Miller, you mind if I ask, just raising the hand, how many are studying to be paralegals? How many are in nursing or any other programs? You want to give me an idea, Doctor?
We have 18 in this class, 7 medical assistants, and the rest would be administrative assistants. So we've named them differently than what we don't have a paralegal program.
Okay. Well, you're in law and you're in medical. You saw some of the photographs of construction underway that Trustee Desmond showed you. Advocate Hospital is the busiest trauma center in the 12-state region. Later on, when I talk about snow and ice, there wasn't one call from the hospital that they had an issue and they needed Oak Lawn Public Works to come. Number 2, nobody died in a snow blank. Nobody had a trauma or a frostbite case for lack of care from the Village of Oak Lawn. So I guess one of my messages to you as students is not all that is said is what it seems to be. And my first item on the agenda kind of is important to state, just like we had some early remarks about economic development. We've heard all the remarks made towards that. We also had what I talked about in terms of the staffing agreement for emergency communications. And then we had this issue, all difficult issues where